It's now suffering from wear and tear, lasted well over a century, but it's going to be a major problem to maintain, and it could in fact be the great question mark over the future of this railway.
You mean the whole line could exist, but there'll be a little gap in the middle?
That's right. The talk is stopping the trains at one end of the viaduct and, making people walk to the far end and continuing on the next train. We hope it won't happen.
So, this is the dreaded Bleemore Tunnel.
It's a dreadful, nasty hole, something like 2,500 feet long, 500 feet underground, and a place that was very difficult to build. A lot of lives lost, a lot of expense, and railwaymen, I think, have always hated it, particularly in the days of steam trains. It's a very nasty place to go through.
Yeah, I've never met anyone who liked it at all. Is this weather typical of line? Do you ever get good days to go here?
Well, we sometimes talk about settled Carlisle weather. That's the kind of days where the rain comes sideways, coming up to Dent Station, which in fact is the highest station on any railway line in certainly in England and Wales.
And nowhere near Dent as well.
4.5 miles away, so it was quite a long walk when you arrived at Dent to walk between the station and the town. People often ask the old story, why was the station there? Because the railway line went there.
What are those strange pillar-like things up there?
Snow fences. One of the problems in this line, of course, is that the weather can create tremendous difficulties. There are stories of trains disappearing under snowdrift for something like 3 or 4 days before they can finally dig them out.
This stop is Garsdale, but it's the same thing every stop. All the experts leave their seats and come rushing forward to photograph the engine and peer at its workings. They remind me rather of a squad of medical men, making sure the Duchess doesn't have the slightest cough or splutter, even though she's smoking so much. The surgeons themselves are dressed in orange operating jackets. These are the super enthusiasts who handle the coal and the water and, of course, the crowds.
Don't go behind where people are photographing, please. Please, ladies and gentlemen, then you won't be in the way.
You get the impression, going through this beautiful but desolate countryside, that the builders of the line had only one place in mind, faraway Glasgow. What I wanted to know was how much the people who lived here got from the new railway.
Quite a lot. Local farming, for example, benefited. The dairy industry, it became possible to get your milk collected and taken to the nearest railway station, for example, Appleby, and taken even on overnight trains to London. Express dairies, Edenvale dairies, all developed dairy farming in the region.
Is that where the yogurt comes from?
Originally, it gave a great stimulus to the local economy.
Of course, we're not the only film crew out today. Almost everyone on the train seems to be producing and directing and shooting their own film. And at Appleby Station, the Duchess responds by putting on a special show for the cameras, as well as full sound effects for the microphones. Closing the settled Carlisle line could do serious damage to the Japanese photographic industry, not to mention wipe out the British anorak business.
is that conservationists like you, who are fighting to keep the line open now, were probably 100 years ago be fighting to stop it being built in the first place.
Oh, I've absolutely no doubt about the fact. But the fact that it was built and is there and is a great piece of architecture means I think we ought to make the best of it. We ought to use it.
So it's bigger than just a railway line. It's actually sort of part of historical
I
heritage.
think so. It's a part of the evolution, certainly, of the landscape of the Yorkshire Dales and the Eden Valley.
Somebody once said that the Settle to Carlisle line was naught but scenery. And this is certainly true after Appleby, when the hills retreat into a watchful distance and the line slides quietly through the Eden Valley, a land flowing with milk and yoghurt. After that back-breaking run up to the summit, it's a gentle jog to Carlisle, the border town where the Midland finally linked up with Scotland and that profitable line to Glasgow. Today, the train turns right here, off to Newcastle, home to York. But I get off to find a train back to London. It'll be a good, fast electric train, and they won't have had to spend hours loading it up with coal and water. You just switch it on, and off it goes. This is the way the world is going. I know all this. I also know that it won't be half so grand or aristocratic or breathtaking as the train we've been on today. It won't even smell half as good. The next day, I'll have forgotten all about my electric ride to London. But once you've been over the top with the Duchess of Hamilton, the memory stays with you forever.